Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Mysticall. Today, I am bringing you an updated video to the 11.1 guide that I had. There have been a few changes to Mistweaver that have made some pretty big changes for talents and stats. So I just want to go over the changes and go over the different talent builds that you can be running depending on your stats. I'll quickly go over the changes that happened in Mistweaver that happened this past week. So the first thing is our mana got buffed, which is really good. We were struggling on mana before, so this was really good. This is helpful. It's definitely noticeable, at least from my point of view. Very noticeable. The next one is Celestial Conduit healing increased by 50%. They made this change because the healing is split between 5 people, so the heal wasn't really that good. The heal is really good now, by the way. The heal is fantastic now, so this was a really good change. I think this is really good in BG Blitz and RBGs. I find it really useful in those situations. Vivify healing increased by 25% in PvP. The only time I noticed this change is with the instant Vivify proc, because that heal is also buffed by 20%. So normal Vivifies, you can kind of feel it, but that instant Vivify, it's really helpful for that heal. This is the biggest change right here. Envelop Mist healing increased by 25% in PvP. Flat out, Envelop Mist is pretty much your best heal, best hot for sure. So buffing it by 25% has been amazing, and this is why a lot of people are changing from Mastery to Haste, because of how good this hot is. And then the last one is Renewing Mist healing increased by 40%. Don't really feel this change that much. You're still pretty much just using Renewing Mist for Chi Harmony. That's the only thing I can think of. I haven't really seen this heal go up too much from like in my healing breakdown. I think before it was like my number 11 heal, and now I think it's my number 8 or 9 heal. So more healing obviously, but not, you know, crazy. And the reason why these changes are making more monks go from Mastery to Haste is because that Envelop Mist change. The Haste obviously increases the tick rate of your hots, which includes your Envelop Mist that just got buffed. So for stats, a lot of monks are playing Haste verse instead of verse Mastery now. I have been trying to do a little bit of both. So what I've done on my main is I have still went Mastery, but I've put a lot of haste on my gear. So I have 27% haste, 182% mastery, and 21% verse. The issue with my gear is that I have low versatility, and the one big thing that you need to know is versatility affects the absorption of Chi Cocoon and Life Cocoon, because versatility is the only stat that we have that increases the healing done, right? So versatility increases damage and healing done. More versatility means your Life Cocoon and Chi Cocoon is going to do more healing. So you need more verse. I don't have a lot of verse. I'm able to get this amount of haste because I've crafted gear. So the trade-off for crafted gear is you get more haste and mastery, but you get lower verse. So I would recommend, if you haven't fully committed to mastery, or if you have and you have a lot of crafted gear, just maybe go to about 30% haste, 30% verse, and then start going to mastery. That would be my recommendation. I think that's going to be the sweet spot for most people. I think I have a monk that's full haste verse, and it's like 33% haste, 29% verse, and that feels pretty good. I've played my mastery monk as well, which is my main. I don't really feel too much of a difference, but your healing breakdown is going to be a little bit different. Your healing is going to come from, if you're playing mastery, your healing is going to come from Vivify, and your mastery, of course, your Enveloping Mist, it's not going to be quite as high, and then your crackle healing. If you play Haste, most of your healing is going to come from Enveloping Mist and Crackle and your Renewing Mist, because your hots are ticking faster with all the haste that you have. So it's going to change where your healing comes from, but having a lot of haste does feel better, just because your globals are faster. You feel like you're doing a lot more healing. So I would recommend for people to go Haste verse if you want that. I'm probably going to still stick to my mastery because I have a good amount of haste, which is really good. It's the versatility. I got to figure out how to get more verse, pretty much. I'm going to try. Maybe I have to go with some conquest pieces instead of crafted gear. But that's going to be my plan. That's what I recommend. Both builds feel pretty solid. But if you're starting out gearing, go Haste verse. As far as talent builds go, it's pretty much the same with, I think, just 1 or 2 changes. So first of all, I do play Clash. I'll have both builds linked in the description, of course. I do play Clash. A lot of people don't play Clash. People don't play Lighter Than Air. So this is the skeleton of what I would do for talent builds. And you have 4 flex talents. I would say you probably want to go Flow of Chi. I would go with Strength of Spirit, Elusive Mist, and then you have 1 point where you can really just put this wherever you want. Celestial Determination is really good with Yulon, because you can you won't be slowed during, or you can't be slowed below 90% movement speed while it's up, which is pretty solid. You can do more movement speed with wind walking. I can't think of another spot where this could go. Yeah, there aren't many other spots you could go into like lighter than air, but that's kind of what I like. I just like Clash. On the right hand side, if you're playing Mastery, this is the build you'd play. You'd play pretty much everything. I do like Jade Bond a lot. I feel like Jade Bond is really important because you need it for the big cooldowns. Damage is so high right now. I don't think 1 minute Yu'lon does not heal through the damage that people have. Like even Jade Bond doesn't heal through it, but it's helpful. So, and it lasts longer, which is really nice. So I've been playing Jade Bond and it feels really good. So I would recommend Jade Bond. For Mastery, this is what I would play. This is what I've played every single shuffle, every single 2s, 3s, arena, everything. So this is the build I would play for Crackle. If you're going to play Haste, all you need to do is drop double Resplendent Mist and go into Tea of Serenity and Tear of Mourning. That's it. That's the only change. The reason you're playing Haste, so you don't need Resplendent Mist. Even if you're playing Mastery, Resplendent Mist, really, the healing isn't that insane anymore, sadly. So this is what I would play if you're playing full Haste. As far as hero talents go, there was a buff to Conduit of the Celestials. The healing is really good. I cannot say anything bad about Conduit of Celestials. But again, the only issue I have is that you have double Thunder Focus Tea with Master of Harmony. And if you're playing Crackle and you get one Crackle off and then you get interrupted on it, it feels so bad to have to wait like a full 30 seconds for another, as opposed to this where I'm just kind of, this is only 20 seconds, right? I only have to wait 20 seconds for the next Crackle, or 15 if I, if I space out a bit more. So I think if you're going to play a Conduit of the Celestials and you Crackle and you get interrupted on it, that's when you're going to use your Celestial for Jade Bond, right? So what you're trying to do with your cooldowns when you're playing Haste is you're going to try to Crackle, and then you want to fill that time between Crackle damage for healing with Jade Bond, or Yu'lon with Jade Bond, and then you're going to fill the next gap with like your Conduit or Life Cocoon, and then you're going to Conduit. So that's what you're trying to do. The worst thing that you can do if you're playing Haste is to use all in one go, like Crackle and then like a Life Cocoon, because then you kind of like your next gap is gonna be weird. You could use Conduit though, the next one. So after your next Thunder Focus Tea, then you Conduit, and then hopefully you have Life Cocoon back. That is the one thing. That was the one good thing about Conduit though, is your Life Cocoon cooldown is much lower, which is really, really nice. But I just found that it's way more smooth if you just play Master of Harmony with double Thunder Focus Tea. You have 2 Crackles, which is really, really nice. But yeah, those are the changes that have been going on this past week. A lot of monks have swapped from Verse Mastery to Verse Haste. And then a lot of people, if you're playing Haste, you drop Resplendent Mist, get these talents right here. Shayloon's gift is still good. And yeah, those are the updates. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. I will put all the builds in the description. I'm going to try to figure out how to get more versatility on my gear, but I don't think it's going to happen. So 27% Haste feels good. 82% Mastery still feels pretty solid, but low verse kind of feels rough with all this damage. So that is pretty much it. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. I am more than happy to answer any questions you might have. And that's it for me. Hope everyone has a fantastic rest of the day. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you later.